Hi, and welcome again to Azure Functions tutorials. Today we are going to do part 4. Let's go do a small recap what we have done in the previous videos together. So in the previous video, I have created a small application to create a product. With that product, we upload with it images for that product. So what the technology or the strategy we use is to upload the images or files to be in the same server where you're hosting your uh, website. That's fine for small website, but imagine if your client or your company asking you to host a big number of data. So you need something you can't host it with your application. So you need something let's call it a small microservice to handle these images. So you need to store your data somewhere far from your application. So if something happened to your application, your images still will be there, and will not be too heavy to always handle or process that request or the upload request or the get request. So one of the best option is to use Azure Functions, or let's say Azure in general. So Azure, they have something called Azure Storage. So the Azure Storage is something, imagine it's similar to a folder or hard disk hosted in a different machine. So your job in this task is to take the file from the front end, from the customer, from the client, and send it to the Azure function. Azure function will handle that request and upload it to the storage, and same time return to your database that reference of the or the URL for that image or file. So we have done the small part, and today, to be honest with you, we'll go a bit advanced. But I'm saying advanced because I want you to see what we have in Azure Function. So the purpose of this video is to show you it's not how we can upload the file or something. My main focus is to show you how many type of functions we have in Azure. So if you see the current diagram, we finished the first part, but today we'll start with the Azure functions. So you see too many functions, too many things, it look like complicated, but complicated better than simple. So we have to learn, or we can learn from this one, what's Azure Functions. So today I'm going to start with this first part, which is the Azure function that accept HTTP trigger. So we'll accept data from the client, and we'll process that data to be stored in a cloud or container, in this container. If we have time, we'll do the rest in this video. So let's jump to our code and see what we can do there. Let's close the PowerPoint. Nice. So this is our previous project. What we need to do, we can add a new project now. Let's call a new project here. We can filter to something called Azure Function, which I have it here. So let's call it shop.media.api. So what will be API, because we are sending to that one. It will be easier to understand the name too. And create. So here is important thing. So I'm not going to talk a lot about or theoretical stuff. I'll leave that for you. You can check the Microsoft documentation. They have very good documentation. You can see more there. But what I'm gonna choose here from the stack, I'm gonna choose the isolated part. So at Microsoft, they have two type of the functions. The first one, or the first function, was called the in process, and they have the isolated. So the latest news, I think the in process will be not used anymore. So it says currently here in .NET 8, but I think in .NET 9 or after they will be removed. So get ready and learn the isolated. It will be easier for you. That's good. So I will leave everything as a default here. I can choose the HTTP trigger. So here we can see how many type of trigger or binding we can use with that function. That big number. So we'll try to see them as much as we can. And let's go create it now. That's Great. So this is a function has been created for us, which is called function1. That's the default one. So first things I like to do always, I check if there is any update being released for this function or for this features. So I can see always there is a new update. I can do it straight away from here, updated. And the other option too for the next run, if you want to make sure there is you are up to date always, you can go to something called in the options. You can go to Azure function, just update your update the template you are using, which is the Visual Studio template. So next time you will not be able, you will not see this update here. You will get the latest always. Let's update them very quick. And that's good. So let's tidy here. So what we are planning to, as I said, if we back to our diagram. So in the diagram, we have a function called HTTP trigger or create type of HTTP trigger. So let's just tidy here a bit and create a new folder. Let's call it functions. So inside this function, want to create. So I want to tidy it. So I make type for folder for each type. So I can remove this one, I create a new one, or I can pull that one there. But let's show you how we can add a new function here. Add a new Azure function. So in here, I will say what I'm gonna call this function. I will call it, because I'm sending a request API. Let's call it create. So I'm planning to create a media file in the storage. Will be type of HTTP trigger. I will leave this for now. The authorization level, because I can change it from here. So that's very simple here. I can use the latest C# version with the primary constructor. Why no? And remove all this stuff from here. Release code. That's great. So what we are getting here, we are getting HTTP trigger. So the HTTP trigger is something similar to, imagine the API as API. So you send data, and that data will be processed here and send it somewhere. So what we'll do here is we can specify this API to be post or get, or both of them. So, but for our scenario here, it will be only post. So we are posting data to this API. So the request here will get it. So let's say try catch. So I want to get that data to from the request, and let's say ex4 here, and let's say string. Let's say body and the stream, and we can make it a weight better if we have something here. So stream reader. So read it as async, please, here, and we'll make this one async task, and finish this one here, and this case should be small. That's it. So what we have done here is similar to how you read file from the stream. Just read the file and put it on the body here. And after that, we can make, let's suppose, if check if that body is null, then return bad request. But too many lines here. If you don't want log it, that will be like this. So otherwise, we can say, I don't want to do anything here. Thank you, enough suggesting. And let's say the log underscore log. So let's log it as an info. What the heck is this? It's not good. So let's say HTTP trigger. Let's say the name of the function. Processed request. And let's pass the name of our function. So just we make sure all good here. And in here, what we can say, that's not bad, error, and they're leaving the error, and we throw it after to know that something happened. I don't need this one. So now what we have done here, we have get the data from the stream. The data, if it's null, we return bad request. Otherwise, we said we have the data. So, but that's data, as we said, we have to send it to uh, a blob storage that would send it to the container. So from this function, we have to create Azure JSON file. So all that data will be sent to that container. So how we can send it to the container? We have two ways to do it. So the easiest way is to create a service that can be handled by we call it Azure client. Call it Azure SDKs, which it is the blob container client. There is many tutorials about it, but we will use it here. But the easiest way for us here to use, we want to try to use as much as we can from the feature that we are getting in the isolated Azure function. So what I can say here is something called a blob output. So this is a blob output. You have to sometimes include the package name. Let me check. Yeah, let me include it. After including the package name, we have to say what is the container name we are going to store that file in, which will be processing media, because still I'm processing the media here. So, and they ask for the file name, which I will be use random GUID number. That's fine for us. Dot JSON. That's everything we need, but here still we need to return the body. That's it, because we are sending only string. Why is this complaining? They are saying body request, we are sending body, and this one should be string. That's correct. And this one here, we can throw return. We don't need to return anything here, just we can say throw new argument exception. That's fine. So this, the first function we have wrote here. I don't need this one. So we got the data, but what's data we are getting here? That's what we don't know till now. So what we'll do now, we'll stop in this one and we'll go create something new or new project to get the shop data from here. If I go create a new project, a class library, I will call it shop.shared.net. So in this one, I will create, let's remove this one. And let's say we need a folder, call it models. Inside this models, I will call a subfolder, call it media. And inside this one, I'll create something called media request. Media request. And same time, we need the media response. Media response. So we can create both of them as a simple. Will be like this. So we'll send to the media request, we'll send our product ID, the content, the image content type with the image type will be PNG or JPG, and with the content of that we'll see what is the, why is this one complaining now here? That's the wrong class. Let's take this one from here. It is here. And let's do like this, and let's remove everything. Now we go to the response. So what we are sending back, we'll send the simple record, the product ID with the URI. That's what we are preparing now. So after we create the shared library or here, I need to back to my controller. So let me just put this one here. Let's go back here. So what we are saying in the controller, when we are trying to create, we are straight away, if there is files, we upload them to our local server. So I want to try to add something here. I'm gonna say if it is, I'll give you option in when I run the project. You want to upload it to Azure or leave it in the local storage. Let's run the application and see where we can put it. So in the product here, if I said create a new product, my plan is to add some checkbox here below this one. So I give you we give option to say we want to upload it to Azure storage, or we can upload it to let's say to the local server. So where we can add that option, if you go back there, I can say I have my files coming only from there. I can add the new option here. And at the same time, I have to update my view in the product. I think it was in the create one here. Yeah. We can add a small snippet here after this one here. That's fantastic. So just we're adding one more option. That's what we need, nothing more than that. In the controller now here, if we try to clean it a bit, what we can do, here we are saving, so we are getting the image list. I think all this code can go to a small private function, let's say. Let's call it maybe save upload image to a folder. Bang. So it's now external function. So if the files they are not null, say if what we have there, we can say product view model dot, let's say is Azure. If it is Azure, do this one. Otherwise, go to this one. That's it here. I think it's very simple. So as we said, we need to get all the files from the front end and send it to the Azure function. So, but first things we need something to store that data where. So I need the media list of media. Why not skeletal media request, which we just created in the shared one. Are we going to get it? No. So I need just to add reference for the shared. Let's go there and you say add project reference, a shared one here. So here I'm shared. I will call it media request. And what the heck is this all? I don't need all this stuff. I'll give me more, and let's do like this. Yeah. So we got the reference, and we see if the so when you go now for each on all the files here. Sometimes it's giving too many things, but we don't need all this. No. So if they are greater than 0, that means we have files. So we'll do var media request. I'm not happy with this extension. It's always doing like this. I don't have file here. I have something called product ID. I put it there, and content type. So from where we'll get our content type, from file.content type. Sometimes good, sometimes no. And close this one. And we have to close this. Oh my God, too much. Yeah. So if you have files, we take from the ID from the product, and we take the type. After that, we can get the stream from or the media content. So we can say you can take from memory yeah, we can take it from memory stream, I think better, using memory stream. New memory stream, that's fine here. And I don't need here. Let's go there. So let's say file dot copy to don't need a thing here. I'll get my memory stream. What we call it, MS. That's good. And say now the media request dot content memory stream, but I need to convert it. I don't need all this one here. I need to do memory stream to array. I need to say convert dot to basic, because we are sending as base 64. It should be here, and this one here. I don't need this one like this. That's fine. So we add it to the request, but this one we can. Yeah, that's cool, I think. So that's still, I will not say simple, I will not say complicated. So very quick is what we have done. We have checked if the Azure, if we need to upload to Azure, we get a request, media request list. We checked if we have any files in that in the being sended. We check the length if it's greater than 0. That means we have already a file there. I create an object to say this ID with this content type, but still I need the content from the front end. So I use memory stream to add that content to my request. After I add it there, I send it to my main list. So now here, after this for here, for each, I can say if there's nothing in this one here, please, we have to cancel it, or we have to disable it, this one. So return view. So I will return there because I have nothing to do. Otherwise, so as I mentioned to you, that Azure function we have created here, it's only an API. So how I can trigger this API? I need to use something called, we can use the HTTP client to do that one. So we can say using var HTTP client, this first time doing something good. And yeah, straight away you can use, send it as a JSON. We don't need to do anything in that string. And we can say here, just make sure if the response is, oh my God. Response, no, it's not response, media response dot ensure it is good. That's everything we need from here to trigger this API. But I think I will stop in this one, in this video. It's look like it's 23 minutes and will be boring. It will be more than that. I will again try to explain it more in the next video.